Hi, I'm Adrian Atkinson, and this is Jamaica Magazine. Thanks for joining us. Inside the pages today, the Jamaica Logistics Hub Initiative is the topic of discussion on issues and answers. If you never before understood what this hub is about, one of the industry's brightest officials will break it down for you. Also, if you missed the Jazz and Blues Festival on the weekend, there's an opportunity for you to still get your groove on while supporting a Jamaican product. It's Kingston for February. Stay tuned, it's going to be a great show.
What are you doing to help the fight against crime?
Sitting on the corner, minding your own business, definitely not going to work.
It is time for us to unite.
Unite.
Unite for change.
Citizens coming together to make their respective communities safer. The police, schools, public health, business, churches, NGOs, parents and neighborhood watch volunteers.
As we, the police, do our job,
We as citizens need to do our part as well.
Report crimes or even suspicious activities.
Let's all work together.
As one united front against crime.
And make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Unite for Change, an initiative of the Ministry of National Security.
By now, you may have heard about the fact that the government is implementing the Jamaica Logistics Hub Initiative. The country is to become the fourth major node in the global logistics chain. Jobs are to be created. Special economic zones are to be established. But what really is logistics? How can you be a part of this process? This week on Issues, we provide some answers to those queries by delving into this growth strategy program. Watch this.
Thanks for joining us for Issues and Answers. I'm Ian Boyne. What is this logistics hub that we've been hearing about? A lot has been said about the hub and about the opportunities that will be provided there. But we want to explore that issue, and we have a man well placed to give us information on this. Dr. Fritz Pinnock is the Executive Director of the Caribbean Maritime Institute, and he has been talking a lot about the logistics hub, and is a great communicator. So we thought we would have him along. We thank you for your company. Dr. Pinnock, good to have you on the show. Let's start first by talking about this hub. What is it?
All right, let me go back.
Simple term, yes.
Simple term. Let me just define logistics in a very simple way. All right, I am here selling water. It's glass. I'm in Jamaica. You're in Trinidad. But if I have my water here to sell you, you don't know. So I have to get this water to you, the buyer, getting the right goods, which is the water, to the right people, at the right time, at the right price, at the right quantity, at the right quality. So logistics is getting it right. And let me say this, we have the best logisticians in Jamaica. If you're on the road and there's a pileup of traffic in Kingston and it's very hot, you see everybody selling water.
Yes.
Few drops of rain come, everybody's selling umbrellas. That is logistics.
That's logistics.
Getting the right goods to the right people at the right time. So we have first-class logisticians.
In Jamaica?
Yes. And in fact, may I put it in simple context. You go to the market, people, the push cart, you know, it's now an official business.
Yeah, man. Taxable.
Taxable business.
Yes.
The other day I saw an accident downtown with a push cart and a car. The man said, just take it easy now, boss. The two of us are taxpayers. So it is important. The pushcart man is what you call a second-party logistics provider. He owns the asset, whether you own it, thief it, or control it. As long as you use that asset, which can be a ship, an airplane, a truck, a push cart, a donkey cart, to carry goods on behalf of other people, you're what you call, that's fancy term, second-party logistics provider. So logistics is getting it right. It's getting the right goods. And let me say, there are two dimensions we're dealing with here. First, you are in Trinidad, I'm in Jamaica. We are separated by distance.
Yes.
Transport bridge that distance.
Okay, yes.
And then the logistics now is everything that falls in between. So we now have what you call a global supply chain, which is a network of trading partners which are all over the world. Some in China, some in the US. You have a toy, and the eye of the toy may be made in Vietnam, the tongue is in India, and the voice we know naturally come from Jamaica, Tessan now, right? And then you put it all together and you see a sign on the back, made in Indonesia. Maybe not true, maybe assembled there.
Yes.
Because everything has now broken down the global supply chain. So the global supply chain is a network of trading partners, and logistics is the glue that holds them together. So logistics is everything that connects trading partners, transportation, storage, movement of information. So logistics is that package.
Tell us how Jamaica now is finely suited and positioned to gain economically from logistics.
All right, thank you.
What is it about Jamaica?
All right, Jamaica is so centrally located. I like to describe it as you build a house right in the middle of Highway 2000. You must expect to have some accidents. Motorists coming around a corner, I don't see a house or crashing there. That is how Jamaica is placed in the world geography. Coming through the Panama Canal, you can't miss Jamaica. You have to be an expert navigator to avoid Jamaica. That's the way to put it. And if you look around,
but this is positive for us.
Positive. Yeah. You look around our coastline, there's a lot of wreck ships. In fact, we have one of the largest collection of wreck ships anywhere in the world. So that does tell you how centrally located Jamaica is. So the logistics hub is now an opportunity to use our geographic location to turn into an economic opportunity. Because what is happening now, as I said, the world production system have changed.
Of course, significantly.
In the 1970s and 80s, people would move their factories, production systems from the United States and Europe to the Far East. Because you were comparing 59 US dollars an
low
hour
labor costs,
to 15 cents an hour. But then they find out after a while that there were some challenges. Cultural barriers, language barriers, and intellectual property. You'll be making cars, when you look, you see a car pass you with a funny name on it, Zhangdu something, and part of yours, part of three other people. So what they find also, there's what you call supply chain disruption. When you have your production so far away from your demand. So the world is now shifting to what you call nearshoring.
A lot of companies are
coming back closer to
closer
base.
To,
So Jamaica now provides that great location. The expansion of the Panama Canal, which will now open early 2016.
2016,
is we have a two-way highway. Think of the Panama Canal.
Tell us how that benefits Jamaica. We've been hearing that.
That
this expansion benefits. Explain to us how that benefits Jamaica.
The Panama Canal is one of the world's largest, one of the shortest shortcut. It's just 51 miles through the Isthmus of Panama, connecting the Pacific Ocean and the Atlantic Ocean. In other words, if you had to move from the western side of the United States to try to get to the east, without the Panama Canal, you'd have to go all the way around the tip of South America and come up. And that is 21,000 kilometers. Jamaicans love shortcut. Those of us from the country, you know, just cut through a little fence, go on the barbed wire, but barbed wire. Right, they go on it now, and then the Panama Canal shortened that distance by over 11,000 kilometers. So it's essentially a toll road. The toll road now has 2 lanes, right, and the lanes are small. So they're making a bigger third lane. This is exactly what they're doing now. So this third lane will be able to accommodate ships 3 times the size. So as a result, you're able to transport cargo more economically. And I like to put it the robot taxi. This example I use quite frequently. You're running a robot taxi from halfway tree to 3 miles. You know, a legitimate taxi can take 5, a robot can take 10. Right? You know, we small up ourselves. That's the whole notion. So what you do now, if you shift from a robot taxi to a robot, what you call coaster minibus, you can carry more, you probably can carry 50 passengers now. You can lower the cost per head per passenger and still make more money. Okay, you still have one driver, maybe now you add a conductor, but that operating cost is spread over a larger number of people, so you can make more money. Essentially what is happening in the shipping world, they're using bigger ships. You move from a robot taxi to a robot minibus. That's essentially what they're doing. So by bigger ships, they want a bigger lane. The canal cannot accommodate the size of the ships now in operation. So by a bigger ship passing through the canal, it is now bringing more cargo through Jamaica. So the notion of transshipment is now going out, because transshipment was, you just take containers in here, take them off, send them to smaller ports, you come back, send back the empties. 9 out of every 10 containers that pass through Jamaica would leave empty because we have no cargo to put in them, no export. So by virtue of the logistics hub is taking advantage of the number of containers passing through Jamaica and then setting up economic zones around the port.
And that's critical.
Value
so
added.
Things are done with things from the container.
Thank you.
And value is added.
Value is added.
He's a master communicator. You're not going to get bored listening to him. Dr. Fritz Pinnock talking to us about the logistics hub. We have more after we come back from this break.
I needed help to expand my business, but the banks only wanted to be up in my business. The high interest rates were killing my business. They're never really business with my business.
At the Exim Bank, we have your business needs covered. Our application process is easy, and we provide loans at competitive rates for the productive sector. From renewable energy projects and working capital to plant upgrades or expansion and export financing. Come in and talk to us today. The Exim Bank. On the road to success, you are going to want us in your business.
We're talking a logistics hub, and we have the head of the Caribbean Maritime Institute, Dr. Fritz Pinnock, who is shedding a lot of light on it for us. So let's talk now about the opportunities to do business as a result of the goods coming here. So it's not a matter of the goods coming here and they're merely sort of changing containers here.
Yes.
Things can happen to those goods. Assembly can take place. Value can be added.
Yes. Thank you. And if I may just make a quick distinction, the traditional transshipment is now, since the global recession, is now a cost to shipping line. So they're no longer just prepared to carry containers in, drop them off, and take back empties. Because the freight rate, or the bus fare, so to speak, of getting those containers in Jamaica have to accommodate the empty return. As a result, our freight cost is about 30% higher than the average of the world.
Or Jamaicans?
Not just Jamaica, the Caribbean. Caribbean, because our exports are primarily service, and you can package service in a containers yet. So the whole idea of a logistics hub is like, for example, you're making umbrellas, and you want an economic zone, which is a jazzed up free zone. That's essentially what it is. So you'll ship 1 million umbrellas to Jamaica in an economic zone. And let's say you dye them in white. You send them all white because you don't know what the final demand will be in the United States or South America. So it's called what they call postponement logistics. You postpone the final product just at the time when you need it.
Market condition.
Watch your market condition. JC Penney will now send an order. We need 100,000 hot pink umbrella. So we now get our people in the zone. We can bleach very well, so we can also dye very well. So we get our people now to dye 100,000 of those white umbrellas into hot pink. JC Penney want your tag on it. They want special things, and everything you do, you add probably 2 cents, 5 cents, 10 cents on each umbrella. That 100,000 now, you put on an aircraft into New York because they are not keeping any inventory. Inventory in logistics actually is a waste.
That's true.
The thing is so whenever you have your goods or product at a point, that's a point at which you must change state. It's like a butterfly.
Yes.
Right. So you change state by adding value. So it's not just coming here to be stored, coming here to change state. So that is how Jamaica will make its money.
So the opportunities.
The opportunity is great. Yes.
And there will be opportunities for unskilled people also.
Opportunities for unskilled people.
Because there's some simple tasks to be done.
Simple tasks to be done, such as bleaching and dyeing.
Yes.
Which any Jamaican can do very well.
Have expertise in that. but enormous opportunities for skilled persons. And this is important for people to know, to prepare themselves for. Let's talk about that.
All right, and I like to be quite simple now. When we look, let me just break it down. Just before coming here, I had a good meeting with the ambassador of Panama. They are great help to Jamaica. We're now looking at a major project in upscaling driving. I mean, certified drivers. Because we know we have a lot of shutter drivers, right? But there's a shortage right now in the US alone of 1.2 million drivers.
1.2 million?
In Canada, almost 1 million. In Jamaica, I was speaking last week with one of the largest trucking company. They told me that this month end, 30 of their drivers are leaving for Canada. And they are seeking, Jamaicans are excellent people when in their craft. So what we are looking at now is upscaling, with Heart Trust, setting up some driver training center that we are now going to give these people City and Guilds qualification. City and Guilds is accepted in 185 countries around the world. And so when you take this certificate, they will accept it as equivalent to the Red Seal, and you can go to work tomorrow. We know many times we do training, but when you go abroad, we know people are good, but they don't want your certificate. So we have to go back in their system. So what we are saying, connect to the global chain. So this is what is now coming out of the Jamaican system. How can we get our training standards to be equivalent to global standards?
You said recently that we're in a phenomenon of jobs without people and people without jobs. We need to bridge that gap.
Yes, because let's face it, I use this example quite a bit in the Logistics 101. I was on a flight a few months ago and I met this young lady, and she gave me a business card. She's a chief listing officer of a major corporation. I said, chief listing officer, what is that? So I said, excuse me, I don't mean to be rude, but what do? You're fast in people's business. He said, no, my job is to monitor the social networks and see what the customers are saying about the company. Because we love our website, because we put what we want up there, all these beautiful pictures of when we were 10. Nobody to know that we are older, right? Right? So we can control that space, but on social media, that is where people are now going for their comments, their reviews for your products. So we cannot continue to ignore that. So no longer people looking for the encyclopedia salesmen who can now, just go and sell those things, but you have to sell in a virtual space. And even with this now, it affects how we train people, because even in marketing, we used to talk about the 4 Ps. Product, price, place, and promotion. Where's the place? It's now virtual. So things have changed. So the whole methodology, everything, needs to be reviewed. That is being reviewed. But also again, from where I sit as the chairman of the subcommittee of education and training for the logistics hub, I'm quite pleased with how warm the feeling I'm getting now from the tertiary institutions and Heart Trust NTA. I'm seeing a greater coming together of these institutions, because we're not recognizing, we're not fighting against each other. We are fighting a global force, which we now have to come together, collaborate, as they say, compete.
So we're preparing for the great opportunities that will be unleashed through the logistics hub. Good to have had you, Dr. Pinnock. Dr. Fritz Pinnock, the Executive Director of the Caribbean Maritime Institute, telling us about the opportunities in the proposed logistics hub. We thank you for your company as usual on Issues and Answers. Next week I'll be back. Until then, Ian Bourne wishing you a pleasant day.
A message from the Bureau of Gender Affairs and the Dispute Resolution Foundation, paid for by the UN Women Fund for Gender Equality.
The Tourism and Entertainment Ministry is seeking to establish Kingston as a cultural superstate As such, an initiative has been launched, promising to position the capital as a preferred destination. Watch this next feature for details.
Bordered by the world's 7th largest natural harbor, home to cultural landmarks, it's the heartbeat of the country. And now, with the introduction of Reggae Month, it's Kingston for February, promising to make the city capital a hotspot for local and foreign entertainment seekers.
From jungle to Rima, from Tivoli to Matthews Lane.
For years, there's been talk about strengthening the marketing might behind Kingston's tourism presence, promoting its built-in attractions, attracting more investments for its accommodations portfolio, and accommodating more tourists within the city limits. In 2014, all throughout the second calendar month, years of planning and smaller projects are evolving into the major initiative Build Reggae Month. It's Kingston for February. The initiative capitalizes on February's established entertainment agenda that comes with the celebrations for both Black history and reggae within the month.
Most of the Reggae Month activities were already funded by the government, by the ministry. And so what we're doing now is to further fund some other events, but also, as I said, organize them so that we can get greater value and express to the persons who are seeking to come to Jamaica. For one event with plane fare and hotel room, etc. might not be sufficient, but coming for a month of events would have disseminated the plane fare and other events over a broader scale of activities.
The initiative will be a launching pad for an even bigger acknowledgement for the capital.
We want Kingston to be the cultural super state as a city, and it will contribute to our application for creative city status under UNESCO, which is in March 31st being the deadline.
Already there is much expectation.
But Chronix just hides up, so Kabaka there, Rasta run the island now. Hey, Janina shine and glow.
With the ministry's endorsement, a slew of events have been unveiled, structured to titillate all. From music festivals to lectures, Kingston will come alive for the 28 days. And Kingston's regular partner, St. Andrew, will not be left out of the fun.
Does celebrate reggae music both from the entertainment side but also from the education side. The University of West Indies is on board, and also you'll also have the Reggae University in the park to give information as to what reggae and where it's coming from and what it represents.
It's hard to say which of these events will be the top draw. Reggae Wednesdays, organized by the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, JERIA, is an annual showstopper. Every year, hundreds of patrons turn out weekly for the free event to be entertained by their favorite artists. Then there's Arts in the Park. Started last year by the ministry in collaboration with international recording artist Shaggy, the second staging is scheduled to be bigger and better.
The intent of Arts in the Park was to expose our talent to the intermediaries, to the Universals, to the Sonys, to the VTs, which we carried in last year. And so therefore this year Arts in the Park will incorporate 3 aspects of our entertainment industry. We'll be carrying down galleries to look at some of our fine arts, and we'll be carrying down also some alternative festivals to look at our spoken word, as well as carrying down some booking agents to look at some of our singers. We find that it is easier to get success from the booking side than from the signing to contract side. So we're carrying down booking agents, 13 booking agents from out of Europe.
And for the first time in more than 50 years, a Poet Laureate will be named. Nominations for the 2014-2017 Poet Laureate closed last December, and the recipient of the honorary award will be announced on February 16. Past recipients of the prestigious honor have been Tom Redcombe and J.E. Claire McFarlane, but no doubt the other events are gearing up to be just as interesting and entertaining.
Do you remember the days of slavery? Whoa. And I said, do you remember the days of slavery?
I feel the sun on my skin, know it's gonna be one of those days to put your mind at ease. Got the radio playing as I feel the breeze. Yo, beat, pass me out there, please. Tell me I leave it up, knowing all of us, we're gonna dance all night till the sun come up.
So if you're away or at home, the ministry is inviting you to come to Kingston. There is an event for everyone, with some having no cover charge. Don't stay at home. Take along your friends and explore Reggae Month. It's Kingston for February. For more information on the ministry's initiative, you may call 920-4926-30 or click on their website mot.gov.jm.
I feel it in my bones and sing. Thinking about the joy you bring, you feel no. Don't take this for joke. You're the Hennessy to my cup.
Yes, today is World Wetlands Day. Across the world, environmentalists are engaged in awareness activities in commemoration of the international observance. Now, a wetland is a land area that is saturated with water, either permanently or seasonally. That's useful for water purification, flood control, and shoreline stability. However, they continue to be drained and reclaimed to make farming land available. But the central role of wetlands in support of agriculture is becoming clearer, and there are successful agricultural practices which support healthy wetlands. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, is to conduct a farmer training workshop geared towards educating farmers on the impact of their activities on wetlands. The workshop, to be held in Westmoreland on Wednesday, February 5, will also highlight the ways in which wetlands can boost agricultural production. The seminar is part of a week of activities to mark World Wetlands Day. For more on this project by NEPA, contact the agency at 754-7540.
The youth who are highly likely not to be presented. The youth who are usually rejected and dejected, ejected and dissected. I represent the youth on the corner. I represent the youth in the juvenile center. I represent the youth whose ambition is guns and ammunition, gunshot mission. I represent the youth who no longer believe in the Don, the church, or the politician. I believe in no one, not even myself. I represent the youth whose commonwealth is their common health. Gangrene brains, sewage lanes, guns more expensive than houses, chinks, roaches, crab louses. I see you all sweating. Allow me. Leave me, let me express my grosses. I represent the youth you would never want sitting in your couches, your couches, your couches. What me say? When me speak, me know why you like me. When me speak, don't try to fight me. When me speak, you not fi highlight me. You not fi write me. Close your eyes. You don't even have to sight me. Germs. And what you are trying to do? Spite me? Spite me? I represent the hundreds of youth in the remand center, in the prison, the court corner. I am cable mind, decultured on wine and rum. Me just want white and black till me vanish. The fire hot, me a polka dot. I represent the youth with no hope. Youth battered and scarred by gunmen posing as artists. Going on world destruction tours. Traveling in $10 million vans. While the youth are left washing their hands clean of blood. Backwardness, bleaching cream.
Before we go, we leave you with these words. Nothing is wrong with one love. Nothing wrong with love. Because love is the foundation and people feel love and express the love. And the music we call reggae have that side of it. Words to think on from musician and educator Michael Evo Cooper as the nation celebrates Reggae Month. This is where we leave you for today. Join us tomorrow for another informative and entertaining program. Keep sending those emails to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm or send us a tweet at JIS News. Click on our website, jis.gov.jm, where you may find more news stories and features on all the issues featured in today's magazine. Until then, continue to have a blessed day. I'm Adrian Atkinson. One love.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.